G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. So here we are on the desktop of Feren OS. I was trying to check out my sound recording on the videos that I've made, or this one here. I couldn't get, for some reason, sound. And I didn't realise there was unattended upgrades running in the background as well. And I couldn't find my audio output device. It just kept selecting the microphone Yeti stereo. Now hopefully that's recording okay. So we've got a right click mute on there, but left click doesn't appear to do anything at all. So hopefully it's recording. So we still have 2 updates even though there was unattended upgrades. A new version of the update manager is available. Let's apply the update. Feren major update handler, so let's do that. Now we might be in between upgrades here. I'm not sure what's going on with the sound. Why I cannot get sound out of the laptop speakers. It was working the other day. Doesn't appear to be working today for some reason. So we'll do an update and see how we go. So I knew there'd be quite a fair few updates in here. And there's plenty to come. 688 megabytes. So let's install the updates. Okay, all looks good. The following packages will be installed. Okay. Let's just click OK. I was just trying to think of the timeline in which I installed this Feren. It's got to be easily between 4 to 6 months ago, I think. Now it's working. So that wasn't working before. I didn't have an output. That's working now. I didn't have an output option here. It was only an input option only. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so that appears to be working fine. Just looking at the Windows 10 dark theme. It's probably a little bit on the too dark side, I would think. I think if you look at the ARC theme for Windows and things like that, has that good balance of not too dark and not too light. I might even give that a go. Okay, so it's asking for some replacements. Okay, wallet, I just put replace everything for when it asks that question. And again, I just click replace. And once again, I'll just replace that one as well. And another replace there. And another replace there. And there. On Feren OS, I always just click replace on those. Unless you probably know anything, like you might have had a previous install that went wrong, you would click to keep it, probably, if you know that it's going to be a problem. Otherwise, I just click replace. And that is my Feren updates complete in the Feren OS update manager. A reboot is required because we've had, I think, a kernel update, desktop environment update. I think there was in amongst that, I believe. Some of the Feren custom applications were updated as well, I believe. So I'm going to stop the recording, do a reboot, and we'll be back. And here we are back in the desktop of Feren OS. Had a major update and everything looks the same. No, just kidding. We need to probably discover what the updates were, I believe. I'm not really sure. I didn't actually... What I should have done is had a look at what everything was on, shouldn't I? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Help and about for Nemo 4.8.4. Let's just check the system info. Information. Info Center. Let's check that out. KDE Plasma version 5.2.4 or 5.20.4. And there's the specs of this laptop. Intel Celeron N3060 1.6 gigahertz with 4 gig of memory, So that's what we've got rocking here on this Lenovo low-spec laptop. Let's just have a quick look at the software center, see if anything's changed in there in regards to the look and feel. I think it's still the same. I think Feren's got some ideas on the software center which looked quite good, but they're probably a long way away at the moment. So nothing has really changed much in the software center that I can see. Everything appears to be still the same. Now this is one thing that I think that has changed within the Plasma desktop is the notifications are in a grid style now rather than a list style I think it was before. So I think definitely that has changed. Yes, because if we had a look at my previous video before I did the updates, you had the list style, didn't we? Speakers, built-in audio. I couldn't get that off Yeti earlier. It's driving me nuts. Don't know what happened there. So we've got LibreOffice here. I'm not sure whether that... I don't think Feren updates those to the next... I don't think Feren updates those type of applications to the next version, I'm pretty sure. Help and about... Well, actually it is. It's on version 7. Interesting. So there we go. It's a nice little surprise. Yes, you're going to have a problem if you go into application style because that no longer works for Feren. So if it crashes when you go into that, it'll just restart the app. Just avoid that one there. So we have the Feren tour. Just might check that out and see what's changed with that. So start the tour and it'll tell you about transferring files. So how do I use a transfer tool? Good question. So restoring data with the transfer tool requirements. To restore your data using transfer tool, you will need the following available. The external data storage device that you backed up your data to earlier with transfer tool, access to your new Feren OS installation. So if you want a visual guide for all of these steps, there is a YouTube video that will guide you through all the necessary steps. So let's just see which video he's using here. So it's one of Feren's videos that he's made himself. Very good. So there's some help for the transfer tool if you need it. He's put a lot of effort into giving people information, I must say. Desktop layout, you can choose a layout here. I won't do that. Shows you how to use the desktop applications menu by clicking on the Feren icon. In my case, I've changed the icon, so that's a window icon there. Using the desktop window management. So click on an item in the task manager to switch to its window, which is here, a simple screen recorder. Back to the tour. We can click on that again to minimize. Back on the tour, let's go next. Using the system tray, so it's showing you here, there's the system tray, which is this whole group here, pretty much. So you can click on any system tray icon to view the status of different parts of your system, connect to the internet, check the status of some running applications and more, which is what you can do here. Volume, internet. What's next? So start typing while on your desktop with no open windows, or use the Alt F2 keys with your keyboard at any time. And quickly search for applications. So if we go to the desktop, we click the desktop here, and then we just start typing, say, Firefox. Oh, that was a bit slow, probably because of the Firefox. There we go. Feren, let's just type Feren, see what comes up. Feren Tour Plasma. Feren window decoration. And then you got the welcome tool as well. So that's how that works. Use the store to get more applications. Theme mode. Default light and dark. Accent colors. Now I believe the accent colors might change on the fly now that it's been updated. Let's just check that out. So your accents, that's your accent color there. So if I try red, now it changes on the fly in the GTK apps, because Cinnamon's a GTK app. That you would have had to have logged out and logged back in to do that before, but now that seems to be working really good. There we go, look at that. So very nice indeed. I'll keep it on blue. Let's go next. Pair your Feren OS machine with your Android device. Configure KDE Connect. And that should work pretty well in the Plasma desktop. Reduce eye strain at night. Configure the night color. You can also configure this night color later in System Settings, Display Monitor, and Night Color. So let's check that out. System Settings, Display and Monitor, which is here, and Night Color. And you can activate the night color there, like so. Let's move on, and we're all done. And then you got the Feren Welcome, and you can check these things out without doing another install anyway. And there's the Feren Welcome screen. You got the introduction. What is Feren OS? What is Feren OS? Is an operating system, the core software that runs your computer, similar to Microsoft Windows, Apple's Mac OS, and Google's Chrome OS. Feren OS is a distribution variation of GNU Linux. It's a dependable, secure, capable, and modern computer system that has huge potential to rival all others in popularity and actual use. So it gives a breakdown of Linux in here, what makes Feren OS, and it gives a tribute to Ubuntu because it's based on Ubuntu, or possibly, yeah, I think it's Ubuntu, not Kubuntu. And also he's using the KDE Plasma desktop, so he gives good recognition for that as well. Open source as well, that's all good stuff. Let's go back on that one. Getting started. User guide, keyboard shortcuts, updates and extras, system specs. And once again, there's my system specs. And I have to admit, Feren is running very well considering it's a low spec laptop and I'm recording as well. So you've got drivers there, which I probably don't need because I've got no NVIDIA on here. So yep, Intel drivers are open source and maintained and updated in the kernel. Recommendations. Steam is recommended. Lutris. Play on Linux and Wine. Office software. Besides LibreOffice, Feren OS supports other great alternatives to Microsoft Office. So it's given options of Soft Maker Office and WP Office. And that's what I like about Feren. He doesn't focus on any one particular thing. He likes to show people what's out there and gives you the options to install it as well, which is a really good idea. Corebird is, what's Corebird? A Linux Twitter client, is it? Open source option, is it? Or variant? Variety is a wallpaper changer, and actually that's quite a good one too. I might install that. And Komorebi, desktop wallpaper replacement. We've also got here the browser selector. or the web browser manager. So he's got all these. Microsoft Edge is still a coming soon. And there's plenty of options here. 10 options of different browsers you can install. So plenty of choices for web browsers as well. So we have the Feren theme colorizer, Feren OS transfer tool, the welcome screen, the Feren Tour Plasma, and the web browser manager. So plenty of Feren custom tools there. So create a theme colorization, remove an existing theme colorization. Let's go OK on that. So you can colorize the current theme. Just interested to see what this thing does here. If we choose red and select that, what does that do? Let's just try red. I'm not sure what that does. Should the title bar be colored depending on the chosen color? No. Saved under the name red. You can use this theme by applying it through system settings, desktop and colors. So by rights there should be a red in here. Red, there we go. So that's the color I made. So let's have a quick look at advanced settings. Plasma style. Is it plasma style or Windows decorations? Which one is it? Probably the Windows decorations. Let's go get a new window decoration. Let's search for Arc. Arc KDE. Let's install that one. Sounds interesting. Arc KDE. And apply. No, it's the plasma style I want to do, not the Windows decorations, the plasma style. So let's get new plasma style. It's Windows decorations, the top one. I don't know what I was thinking there. So let's see if we can find an Arc KDE in here. Arc KDE, let's install that. Install that one. Let's close that and choose Arc Dark. Apply that. Windows decorations, I'll put back on this one here, I think. Now we have an Arc Dark, but I don't think it's affected the GTK app. Doesn't look like it, does it? I'm not liking the icons changed as well, have they? Icons? What's that on? Windows 10, yep. Let's try the Quagga Dark. And let's close the settings and open the settings up again. And then we have some decent icons down the side. So the Windows 10 icons doesn't really work well for the system settings, I must say. We'll try the Papyrus, I think. Papyrus is always a good icon. Or we'll just go back to Inspire. Feren's default icon set. Configure desktop and wallpaper. So this dysprosium, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. That would have to be part of his new wallpaper set. I've seen getting installed. Let's try that one. We still can't theme the GTK apps that much when it comes to the when it comes to the plasma style, it doesn't really change the GTK apps at all, I don't think. Let's try Breeze Light. See, that hasn't changed at all. Still the same. So I think that's still a work in process, is changing the GTK apps. So there's not a lot of consistency. All you need, the only thing you can do in this case is choose a plasma style that would match roughly the GTK app. Feren OS default maybe. Not liking those dark icons too much. Let's try the Quokka Dark, see how they look. Let's open the system settings back up. Well, at least we've got some decent icons in there anyway. So I've been checking out some of the themes. Just trying to theme. I find sometimes Plasma a bit hard to theme, to be honest, especially with icons. And I think probably Feren is a little bit harder because he's got the GTK apps installed as well. So this is what I've come up with, because I've tried several themes just messing around. And it's good to see they highlight the one that's been chosen, which I don't think Plasma used to do that before. So WE10X Special Dark is the one I've chosen here. Now it seems to look pretty good. I think it's called Special because they've got a special home folder icon there, which looks quite nice. Everything else seems to be looking okay out of the box. I like the LibreOffice icons, they look nice. And everything else seems to be working. And the same with these ones down the side here. And also what we've done is in advanced settings, Plasma style. What did I choose there? I'm just trying to remember what I chose in Plasma style. The Win10 OS is what I chose for the Plasma style, which is like everything on the inside here and along the strip here. And then you've got your Windows decorations, which I've used the Quokka, and the Quokka always looks quite nice. So that's what I've done there. Just have a quick look through the settings here. Global theme, which will put it back to a basic Breeze Dark or Breeze, just like a default Plasma type theme. You got your desktop layout here with all the different layouts. You got colors. So there's plenty of colors to choose from. I think the other thing Feren hasn't done is the accent color. I cannot find an option to change the accent color anywhere except for in the is it the welcome screen? It might even be the Feren tour. I think that's the only place you can change the accent color at the moment. So I'd have to think he has plans to put it somewhere in the Plasma system settings somewhere. You'd have to think eventually. And then you got the advanced settings there, which we've looked in, Windows decorations and so forth. Now you'll probably find that the Feren OS has a slightly different system settings layout compared to your default Plasma. I'm not sure what the differences are. It's very hard to tell. I won't take you through all the system settings because that would take all day. There's just so many settings in Plasma. But there's you might find that he's split them up into different categories here. So things are probably easier to find. I don't know how the default Plasma looks these days. So that was a quick look around the Feren OS desktop with a huge update included, and everything went really well. So I'm happy to report that, and I will continue to check out the progress on Feren OS. Although I might be uninstalling this to try a few other lightweight distros, but I will be putting it back on. So I'm interested to see how the latest ISO for Feren OS goes for install. So I wouldn't mind trying that as well. But it's good to see that at least after a couple of months, the upgrade went through no problems. There was no hiccups at all. Everything went fine, and I wouldn't expect anything else from Feren OS. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the look around, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.